'Tis the season we all suddenly get really into sports, thanks to the Olympic Winter Games of Milano Cortina. Even if normally the only sport you and I and all of us practice is the sofa to remote sprint. So let's go through all the sports that are featured in this edition of the Games. Alpine skiing, also called downhill skiing, is the fancy way of calling the basic idea of sticking stuff to your feet and hurling yourself down a mountain. Alpine skiing has been at the Olympics in some form or the other since 1936. The disciplines present this year under the alpine skiing are downhill, team combined, Super G, giant slalom and slalom. Downhill skiing, unlike the other disciplines, doesn't emphasize the ability to turn but, as the International Ski and Snowboard Federation puts it, the 6 components of technique, courage, speed, risk, physical condition and judgment, which is a fancy way of saying how fast can you hurl yourself down a mountain? And since speeds of 130 km an hour are not uncommon in competition, the answer to that question is fast, very very fast. Team combined is a new event for this Olympics where squads of 2 athletes compete in downhill or Super G and slalom, and then the points are added up. It replaces parallel and single combined. Super G or Super Giant Slalom is a discipline that takes the technique of slalom and giant slalom and focuses more on speed. In the Olympics is usually disputed in the same track of the downhill but starting from a lower point. Giant slalom in alpine skiing is a discipline that has the poles people have to slalom inside, called gates, set farther apart than normal slalom, and it's been in the Olympics since the 1952 Games in Oslo. Slalom is a discipline involving skiing between poles or gates. These are spaced more closely than those in giant slalom, super giant slalom and downhill, necessitating quicker and shorter turns. One of the earliest competition of slalom was probably held by Norwegian military. Downhill competition in 1767 included racing downhill among trees without falling or breaking skis. And it's disputed at the Olympics since 1936. Biathlon debuted at the Olympics in 1960, taking the place of the military patrol event that was held in previous competition. And involves skiing in a very long course and then shooting with a carbine. Mixed relay is a biathlon relay with men and women alternating in a 4-section of 6 kilometers each, with each section being called a leg. The men's relay is a 4 per 7.5 kilometers, while women's relay has the same length of the mixed, with 4 athletes per 6 kilometers. The individual biathlon run is divided between men and women, with the men running a 20 kilometers course and women a 15 kilometers. This is also one of the specialties where you will see athletes using skins, aka literal sticky fur ski covers, to go uphill and that they have to remove by jumping and tearing them off because if the glue touches the snow they are toast. They also shoot their carbine standing, kneeling and prone. Biathlon sprint, run on a 10 km course for men and a 7.5 km course for women, and it's a discipline heavily focused on speed of completion rather than precision. Biathlon pursuit is the discipline where only qualifiers from sprint can compete in, and they go in second back order, meaning that the winner of the sprint starts with their time at 0 as normal, the second runner-up starts the time with already 5 seconds on it, and so. Men compete on a 12.5 km course, and women on a 10 km one. Biathlon mass start is the top 30 athletes starting all at the same time and skiing 5 laps with 4 shooting sessions, 2 prone and 2 standing. The men on a 15 km course and women on a 12.5 km course. Bobsleigh or bobsled is a discipline where teams of 2 or 4 athletes launch themselves on a winding, twisted, banked and ice course on a gravity-powered sleigh, which is a fancy way to say that they push it and then hope in and hold on for dear life while they slide along curves that are basically vertical, and it's been in the Olympics roster since 1924. Now, despite bob being generally a squad sport, there is also a discipline called monobob where one single athlete pushes and launches themselves on the bob. Cross-country skiing is the winter cousin of cross-country running, over various race format, either classic, in-track, or freestyle events, where the skiers may employ skate skiing. This sport made its debut at the Olympics in 1924. And it includes the skiathlon, so basically a ski marathon, sprint, freestyle, mass start and a relay race. In curling, players slide stones towards a circle painted on the ice, and it's considered very meme-worthy. It's related to bowls, bulls, and shuffleboard. The player throwing the stone creates a curved trajectory, known as curl, by gently rotating the stone as they release it. Then the sweepers can further influence the stone's path. Sweeping reduces friction, allowing the stone to travel farther and in a straighter line, with less curl. Curling has been in the Winter Olympic Games since the 1998 Winter Olympics, including men's, women's, and mixed doubles tournaments. In figure skating, single athletes, pairs, or groups perform jumps and figures while skating on ice. It was the first winter sport to be included in the Olympic Games, being introduced in the 1908 Games in London. The Olympic disciplines are men's singles, women's singles, pair skating, and ice dance. The 4 individual disciplines are also combined into a team event. Each event but the ice dance include a short program, meant to condense the abilities of a skater, and a free program, meant to showcase technical abilities and artistry equally. Freestyle skiing is the catch-all name for aerials, moguls, cross, halfpipe, slopestyle, and big air. It can consist of a skier performing aerial flips and spins and can include skiers sliding rails and boxes on their skis, and it made its Olympic debut in 1992. Aerial skiing or aerials is when athletes ski down a slope to launch themselves off a vertically inclined ramp and do tricks in the air before landing, with various points depending on difficulty. Mogul skiing, commonly shortened to moguls, is a timed run of free skiing on a steep, bumpy course. Ski cross is a mixture of freestyle skiing with big air jumps and high-banked turns. In spite of the fact that it is a timed racing event, it is often considered a type of freestyle skiing, but with athletes racing simultaneously. Halfpipe skiing is the sport of riding snow skis on a halfpipe. Competitors perform a series of tricks while going down the pipe, so basically grinding with skis. Slopestyle is when athletes go down a course with a variety of obstacles like rails, jumps, and other terrain park features. Slopestyle tricks fall mainly into 4 categories: spins, grinds, grabs, and flips, and most tricks done in competition are a combination of these. Big air is when an athlete with no regard for their lives skates down a hill or ramp and performs aerial tricks after launching off very large jumps. In most versions, there is one large jump and therefore only one opportunity to perform a trick. Ice hockey, or simply known as hockey, is a team sport played on ice skates, using sticks to guide a puck towards the door to score goals. It is considered a full contact sport and it's been in the Olympics roster since 1924. A luge is a small 1- or 2-person sled on which one sleds face up and feet first. A luger begins seated, propelling themselves initially from handles on either side of the start ramp, then steers by using the calf muscles to flex the sled's runners or by exerting opposite shoulder pressure to the pod. Lugers can reach speeds of over 140 km per hour, sliding sports. And it's been in the Olympics since 1964. Nordic Combined is a winter sport in which athletes compete in cross-country skiing and ski jumping. The Nordic Combined at the Winter Olympics has been held since the first Winter Olympics in 1924. Many Nordic Combined competitions use the Gunderson method, where placement in the ski jumping segment results in time advantages added to the contestants' total in the cross-country skiing segment, e.g. the ski jumping winner starts the cross-country skiing race at midnight. 0-0, while the one with the lowest jumping score starts with the longest time penalty. And it's the only sport at the Winter Olympics to have only male competitors. Short track speed skating is a form of competitive ice speed skating. In competitions, multiple skaters plus skate on an oval ice track. It's been in the Olympics since 1992 and includes 500 meters, 1,000 meters relay, 1,500 meters, 3,000 meters relay, and 500 meters relay. Skeleton is a winter sliding sport in which a person rides a small sled, known as a skeleton bobsled, or bobsleigh, down a frozen track while lying face down and headfirst. Unlike other sliding sports bobsleigh and luge, the race always involves single riders. Like bobsleigh, but unlike luge, the race begins with a running start from the opening gate at the top of the course. The skeleton sled is thinner and heavier than the luge sled, and skeleton gives the rider more precise control of the sled. Skeleton is the slowest of the 3 sliding sports, as skeleton's face-down, head-first riding position is less aerodynamic than luge's face-up, feet-first ride. It was added permanently to the Olympics in 2002. During elite racing, the rider experiences accelerations up to 5g and reaches speeds over 130 km per hour. Ski jumping is a winter sport in which competitors aim to achieve the farthest jump after sliding down on their skis from a specially designed curved ramp. Along with jump length, competitors' aerial style and other factors also affect the final score. The score of each judge evaluating the style can reach a maximum of 20 points. The jumping technique has evolved over the years, from jumps with the skis parallel and both arms extended forward, to the V-style, which is widely used today. Ski jumping has been included at the Winter Olympics since 1924 and it's divided in individual, team, normal hill and large hill. Ski mountaineering is the newcomer of this Olympics and it's a sport that involves climbing mountains either on skis or carrying them, depending on the steepness of the ascent, and then descending on skis. There are two major categories of equipment used: freeheel telemark skis and skis based on alpine skis, where the heel is free for ascents, but is fixed during descent. Competitive ski mountaineering is typically a timed racing event that follows an established trail through challenging winter alpine terrain while passing through a series of checkpoints. Racers climb and descend under their own power using backcountry skiing equipment and techniques. More generally, ski mountaineering is an activity that variously combines ski touring, telemark, backcountry skiing, and mountaineering. Snowboarding involves descending a snow-covered surface while standing on a snowboard that is always attached to a rider's feet and was introduced as a Winter Olympic sport at Nagano in 1998. The disciplines of snowboard are variations of the ski one: halfpipe, parallel giant slalom, slopestyle, snowboard cross, snowboard cross team. Speed skating is a competitive form of ice skating in which the competitors race each other in traveling a certain distance on skates. It was introduced in the Olympics in 1924. The disciplines include 3,000 meters, 5,000 meters, 1,000 meters, team pursuit where three athletes skate in a little caterpillar formation, 10,000 meters, 500 meters, 1,500 meters, and mass start. And that's all, folks. Thanks for watching and happy Olympics and Paralympics season.